Out of all the lightweights out there in the entire world, Devin makes more money than all the lightweights that are out there in the entire world, with the exception of Tank Davis. More than the unified champion, the other guy who is his pops is delusional and making in upwards of over $3 million a fight. Ain't no secret. Ain't no secret. He getting it. When you look at it and you compare it to Tank's, and we just talking about the live gate. Tank Davis live gate was in upwards 9 times. I repeat, 9 times of what Haney's was in his last fight. This is to no fault of Haney. They sold, I think it was like 4,900 tickets. Half the house at Mandalay Bay.
Hey, step inside that booth, get loose, knock out a nigga tooth, man. This your boy, 503 Lion, back at it again with another one, man. Much love to the almighty LDBC, man. Lions Den boxing community. Shouts out to the whole gang, man. Usual suspects up in this thing, man. This is a late night hunt. Let's get right to it. So, I did a video this morning, the future 4 kings of boxing. And on my list, Pusha Court Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, Boots Ennis, and Jerry Big Baby Anderson. Now, the video didn't really do what I wanted it to do, but I got a couple comments in my comment section, and one of the homies asked me, well, what about Devin Haney? No Devin Haney. And I purposely left Devin Haney off of the future 4 kings of boxing because, in my opinion, Devin Haney is already a prince in boxing. He's already setting his own empire and throne in boxing. He's not a king, but Devin Haney is a prince. And there's no disrespect intended when I say that, because when you look at Devin Haney in his career, and I say this all the time about Devin Haney is the youngest and the richest champion in boxing. He's 22 years old, already making $3 million a fight plus. And he's been doing that since he signed to Eddie Hearn. And he's been with Eddie Hearn for at least 3-4 years now. Probably since 2017, something like that. 2016. So the kid has racked up some M's. And he got M's in his bank account, man. Listen, I left Devin Haney off this list personally because Devin Haney is above all those guys on the list. When you're talking about financially, now him and Shakur are both champions, but he's made more financial gain than Shakur. He has a bigger fan base than Shakur. He's already fighting in Vegas and selling out venues in Vegas. This is no knock on nobody else that's on my future kings of boxing list. It's just, to me, Devin is already established, and we're gonna see what he does in the fight with JoJo Diaz. And this is another thing, bro. Devin Haney got one of the best fights to end the year off with. Arguably, probably the best fight. Besides what? Triple G Murata, Better Be Marcus Brown. It's arguably to say he got the best fight in December for sure. So it's like, he fighting better competition. He making more money than all these guys on the list. And it's like, he right there neck and neck with Tank Davis. The only thing that separates him from Tank Davis is that Tank Davis sells more tickets and fights on pay-per-view. And who's to say 2 years from now Devin won't be doing that? So this kid has no ceiling. The sky's the limit for Devin. He's shooting for the stars and hitting on the moon, in my personal opinion. I think Devin will get everything that he wants because he's getting it. I do think the fights that we possibly want to see him in with this Tank Davis, of course, it's not gonna happen next. That's not in Floyd's and Leonard Ellaby's plan. Okay, you have to let that fight build over time. But you still have a possible Teofimo fight. You possibly still have the Lomachenko fight, the Ryan Garcia fight. And that's Dev's biggest problem, is that these guys just don't want to fight him. And this is why I say dudes like Bruce Ennis, when they become champion, he's still not going to get those fights, because we see Devin going through it. We seen Earl Spence go through it. We seen Deontay Wilder go through it. You know what I'm saying? We seen Terrence Crawford go through it when Keith Thurman ducked him. So this is just a common thing with these black fighters in boxing. But Devin Haney is a prince, not a king, a prince. But he will rule the kingdom. Maybe when Deontay Wilder retires, maybe when Canelo retires. And this is the thing, you guys. The kid is only 22. I think he turned 23 today. He's still the youngest. One of the youngest guys in boxing, and making more money than a lot of these dudes, man. So, the youngest, the richest, and he's already a champion, and he's already stepping up in competition. We might have to add a fifth king to the list, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Devin Haney, is he a king or a prince in boxing? Y'all let me know, man. Till next time, we up out of here, man. Happy G-Day to my boy Devin, though, man. You know what I'm talking about? Shouts out to the whole Scorpio gang, man. And it's just like that, man. H-Time for real, man. We up out of here, y'all. Peace out.
I'm still Adrian the Problem Brunner, the can man. Anybody can get it. Africans, I just beat the fuck out of a Mexican.
Boy, just be yourself. If people don't like it if you're being yourself, fuck them.
Message.